The loss of Walker is a cruel blow for returning Sea Eagles coach Des Hasler, who has already lost superstar fullback Tom Trbojevic and props Taniela Paseka and Kelepi Tanginoa for the opening rounds of the season through injury. The Sea Eagles are already a club under financial pressure, and its owners may choose not to spend additional funds, particularly given the logistical challenges involved. Walker's case is back in court on the day the Sea Eagles are scheduled to play Brisbane at Suncorp, meaning he could be available to face the Sharks the following Sunday if acquitted. It's unlikely a player of his caliber is available or would accept a short-term contract for that duration, with Manly more likely to seek a replacement if there is an adverse finding. Sea Eagles CEO Lyle Gorman said the club hadn't yet had an opportunity to consider its position. The NRL hasn't handed down its criteria yet for salary cap relief, other than saying it will be based on application on a case-by-case basis. Gorman told the Herald, clubs will incur performance on-field and financial off-field sanctions, so how do you set up a process that helps support clubs through that? It's an interesting question. Length of time, financial impact, availability of player replacements. You can fit in a player on contract on at the moment, so where do you find a player in that context? What do they do with their family, their kids at school? Do they relocate? There's quite a lot to consider to get a framework that works across the board. It's a bit hard to make a call until we better understand that process. Greenberg conceded not all clubs would choose to seek salary cap relief. I remind you that some clubs who experience this that simply won't ask for salary cap relief because they can't afford it, Greenberg said. The NRL also closed the book on several outstanding integrity issues on Friday, including those involving Dylan Napa and Scott Bolton. Napa was fined 10% of his 2019 salary for the publication of several lewd videos that Greenberg described as gross, juvenile and disrespectful. While Napa will be free to make his Bulldogs debut in round 1, Greenberg warned any players filmed in inappropriate videos from this day forward can expect harsher sanctions, including suspensions. Bolton, meanwhile, has been suspended for 10 games and fined 5% of his 2019 salary after pleading guilty to common assault involving a woman last year. His penalty will be halved if he addresses the captains and other senior players during this year's Magic Round in Brisbane in May. The Herald revealed a fortnight ago that the NRL is seeking removing the clubs from the process of disciplining players, a move that will provide greater consistency and remove self-interest from considerations. That's an open item on our table at the moment, Greenberg said. I don't think we have a consensus among the clubs, but we do have a majority view that sanctioning should come from the centre and should be removed from the club's hands. That's a discussion I'm keen to have with some clubs in the first half of this year with the leaders of our clubs. It's an open question for me to consider. I've long maintained that clubs should own the culture of their clubs and the sanctioning of their players. What I'm starting to consider though is that it may be better in the hands of a regulator like us. We look through a lens which is the best thing for the game. They look through the lens, rightfully, which is best for the club. We are going to be at odds sometimes, so we need to think about that.